How's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from the CC Rider. Just leaving Fred and Rafaela's for another amazing dinner, and she's been really taking care of me several meals now on the carnivore. So she bought a roast beef and made it. She made it quick and sliced it real thin. A lot of au jus in there, and then she also made a bunch of mashed potatoes, broccoli, and gravy that her and Fred indulged in, and I was extremely envious, and they kept trying to tell me. Fred tells me, she goes, no, he can't have it, don't tell him to eat it. She protects me. But what an amazing meal it was, with company and conversation. We're sitting here talking, and we talked about everything. Fred, me too. I mean, we're into the politics right now. We're hoping for a Trump win. It's just amazing that they show on the news. I think it's rigged. 48.5, 47.9. One has the other, and she's always in the lead, and it's like, how could it be? And then they'll say 8 point something undecided. How do they know who's undecided? Let me tell you right now, if the media was saying it's 50% for Trump and 40% in the polls for Harris, and it was like going to be a landslide, or such a huge difference like that, people would literally stop watching their channel and just would talk about it to each other. They would lay off, because if that's what it would have been, I believe this. I think that they've got to have, overtime continuation, where it's she's in the lead, he's in the lead, she's in the lead, he's in the lead, or she's always in the lead a little bit, but he's ganging, he's coming up. Oh, man, what a rigged deal it is. Something flying around in here. Get out. So, I don't know if I want to say this or not, because I don't want to be negative, but I was reading something that this article said, and then Trump ordered the crowd to go to the Capitol building using violence and I watched the YouTube video with the transcript on January 6th when Trump came out and said, hey, we had 70 million votes, and we wake up and Joe Biden had 80 million. And there's no way he would have gotten that many votes, Trump was saying. And that we're not going to accept this. And if Mike Pence does the right thing and sends something back to the states or whatever it was to be counted, that we're going to get it back. We're going to win this or whatever. And that was the beginning of fighting it. But later in the video, he clearly says, I know you're going to go to the Capitol building peacefully and protest this. And the media said that he sicked them on them and told them to go with violence. I mean, unbelievable lies. And I can't wait for this thing to be over. I really can't. But I worry when what happened last time, I think they're so entrenched, and in the last 4 years have garnered so much more money and power to own everything. They're talking about, this new world order, and Blackwell, Blackstone, whoever it is, and this other company is buying up every home in America and doesn't want to sell them, going to rent them. I mean, this is like, the future thing they're talking about. But there's so much. And then what about this, what you're hearing about these famous musicians and actors and actresses coming out for support for Harris, and Obama bringing him on the stage. Obama's up there like he's running for president. Well, he's trying to continue his presidency, probably. And he's like, look, this is how you do it. This is how you get a crowd going. Comes out there, you know, like he's the rock star, and people are going crazy for him. And then he brings on, you know, different people, Eminem, John Bon Jovi, and we got, who are these people? Jennifer Garner and all these actresses and actors. I never knew these people were, that thought like that about the country that's blessed them so well with their fortunes, that they want to see the United States go down the toilet. Anyway, I've been trying to wean myself from this, not for any reason other than I'm tired of it. You know, I'm going to go out and do what I got to do. I'm still promoting, and we're down to the thing. I voted, and Fred and Rafaela voted today. And, you know, but I just hear all these things, and it really, when they can bring people like that I had no idea were supporting them, and I worry about the tomfoolery. I worry about some shenanigans. I worry that, first of all, I don't worry that the majority of our country wants Donald Trump and Donald Trump's economy back in the White House. I know this is a fact. Everybody knows it. But that doesn't mean the election is not a selection. Look what Kamala was. She was selected. She wasn't voted in. You know? And then told not to say anything of what she's done. Now it's crunch time. Obama, Michelle, Barack, all of them are coming out, and they're bringing all these people out, and you know, they're trying to race to the finish, and they're showing how close it is, so that if it goes the other way, it won't be like they've been showing the truth, that it's a landslide. Because think about it. If they showed the truth of who's really leading Trump by a mile, and then Wednesday morning or Tuesday night, whenever they give the results, usually the next morning, I suppose, that she wins, well, then all hell would break loose. Because it'd be like, come on. But if they keep it where it's just a razor slither, you know, photo finish, and somehow she pulls it through, yeah, they'll be upset and all that, both sides, whoever loses. But I think they think that'll keep the, what could happen. You know, I mean, really, I mean, just think about it. If they showed the truth, I mean, look at the crowd sizes at these rallies. I mean, I get a straw poll when I'm out doing what I do. And yeah, I know that I'm not in Dade or Broward or Palm Beach County, where it's, you know, staunch Democrat. It's always votes blue. I know I'm not in Massachusetts or other states or big cities that are blue. So I get that, but you know, I just don't get, you know, how anybody has anything to think about. And then when they show these things on TV, these bloopers, this can't talk, that's going to be your choice for the leader of the world, the free world? I mean, believe me, I would entertain her if it was good policies, good talk, sharp as a tack. And there's that thing. Get out of here. What are you doing? Believe me, I'm a registered independent. But I don't know. So I don't know why I got on that, but because of where I was at tonight, and we entertain that. That's what they like to watch. That's what Fred likes, and Yeah, I definitely got my ears full. It's really, it angers me that there's even a chance that she could be elected. It's like a one-person race. I mean, end it tonight. He won. He's the most popular. Everybody in the country wants him. Everybody does. Don't listen to that TV. I never heard more BS. All this so close. Please. You know, really. All right. Next. No more talking about the oil in my truck. I'm not going to change it. I'm definitely not going to take it somewhere else other than the dealer. I absolutely would go anywhere else for brakes or oil changes. I probably want to go to the dealer for the brakes too. But I'm not taking it to have my transmission, a vehicle that could go 1 million miles or 500,000 miles with 60,000 miles on it, and I'm worrying that the transmission's going to break if I don't get that fluid change before I tow that camper another mile. No. So it's not going to be done. It's not going to be done maybe while I own it. I mean, I could be selling everything tomorrow. So no, I'm not going to do it. I want to do it. I tried to do it. They won't. Come on. Whatever this one thing it is in here flying around because I got my lights on. It's some kind of a light bug. No oil change. No more talk about it. You could talk about it. Travel. Okay. Remember I've told you in my earlier videos months ago that you collect your Social Security at 62 and start living your life because at 67 you're going to be a different man or a woman, potentially. A much different person where you're going to be unstable, different in your thinking. Your gizzards could be giving you problems. You might have had a stroke. You got something going on. Your nerve, your whatever, you know? I mean, it happens. And I'm 65 now. I'm going to be 66. So I'm only 1 year away from being unstable. And I'm thinking about, I got the balls, I got the courage, I can still do it. I got, it ain't no problem, but I don't want to tear my junk up. I don't want it bouncing back there over every pothole between here and 3,000 miles across the country. And I don't want to potentially deal with, dealing with a flat tire or some engine problem, and I don't want to necessarily spend $5,000 to do it. So I started thinking about the CC Rider. Fridge in the back, golf clubs in the trunk, can drive all day with my hands wet on the wheel, and I can sleep in the car every other night, get a room every other night till I get there. And I know that somebody said those rooms at the casinos are, for gamblers, the cheap deals, but they're still cheap. Laughlin's cheap. Also, likely I wouldn't stay a month like in my RV. I'm not going to pull and go through all that with my RV and turn around and come back in a week. With the car, I could. I mean, I could stay out there 7 days, play golf, see everybody. All right, say I did it and turn around and drive back. Easy peasy. I thought about the flying, but then the whole idea about not being able to carry my clubs with me and without paying a lot of money for all this luggage charges and stuff. So I didn't even think about just driving the car. And I might not go at all because, or not right away, as soon as I want it, because of the weather. I mean, it could be, in some areas, especially with the camper, I should say, about the weather, like Flagstaff and places. It could be blizzards in the November, I don't know. It's just that I've done it with the small camper and then the Crasher there and back. That's 4 trips inside 6 months. The best analogy I can give you, folks, is when I took the last cruise, the 16th one, and I came back and I said, after 15 of them, that I was feeling it, and it was waning, and then like 2 years went by before the 16th one. And even after 2 years, after going on it, I was like, I don't need to do this anymore. I mean, it's the same ship, different name, same looking floor plan, and the same ship. And the entertainment wasn't as good. Everything was such a repeat. It's like, I love John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, but there's some that I've watched so many times, say The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, that I got to skip through it. I just can't sit there and endure it. And so I don't know, after just 6 months ago, crossing this country 4 times there and back with 2 different trailers. See, I was excited to go back after I came back with the Cramper, because I thought, I sold it, and then now I got something that, I can take a shower in, sleep in, and do all this stuff. This guy was going to come over. Guess he can't see. And so I was motivated to go right back. And it was a bitchin' trip. I liked it. But now, like a 3rd time this soon, I was stoked about it. I was telling you guys about it. And you can't believe a damn thing I say. I might still go. And I'm waiting on my buddy to buy a Class A he's looking at. And then he started having second thoughts on the whole idea. And then I actually told him. He can do him. He can do what he wants to do. But, he asked my opinion, and I asked his opinion on things. I told him this. He owns a home, he doesn't live in a camper. I said, if it wasn't for the fact that I live in mine, no way in hell would I think about going out and buying one of these things if I already had a place to live. You go out and you spend $40,000, $100,000 on a new motorhome, or a 1-year-old or 2-year-old one that did cost over $100,000 for 80, 90, 50 grand, whatever it is, and then go spend $5,000 to go to the other side of the country and back is lunacy. And then to put it in storage until maybe never again. I said, I wouldn't even contemplate buying one. I mean, you know how many Ritz-Carltons or places you can stay in for what you're talking about doing? And it was kind of like a light bulb went off. And then when he wasn't going to go and we were going to kind of ride together, but we really didn't even discuss it. We weren't actually probably going to do that. We would have probably ended up at the same destination. That's what we were probably going to do. It's hard to follow, somebody, unless you're in a caravan, or, it's not that tough, but, everybody does their own thing. People get tired, got to stop, pee, do different things, get gas, and, you're better off just, I'll see you there. So, and I don't need anybody to hold my hand, but the fact that he hasn't said he's not going to buy one, but, he was rethinking the idea, and I go, you know what? I'm going to rethink it. I need to rethink this. And then we came up with the idea about flying and how much better it would be. But I thought, well, how am I going to take golf clubs and enough clothes? And I'd have to rent a car and get a hotel. And that's still a lot of money. And I wouldn't want to be gone that long if I did a plane ride, because I don't want to stay in a hotel for a month like I could stay in an RV park with the camper. You see the difference? So it would be a much, much, much shorter trip. The advantage, you could rent some clubs. You could do all this stuff. It'd be a short trip. You could get out there quick in a few hours. You could get home quick. But it's like, for what? And so, don't hit me, please. Then I got the idea of this beautiful brand new car Road trip, baby, road trip. Clubs, plenty of room for clothes. I don't know if I get that refrigerator in here or not. If I can't, it ain't no big deal. It's not a deal breaker. But I can carry all the clothes I want, clubs, hook up on a room, not every night, and go out there and stay no more than a week. And just turn around and drive back. Road trip, baby. And then I started thinking about that. And everything is money. And I think until the election is over and to find out what's going to be going on, you know, I wouldn't leave any sooner than that anyway, because I wouldn't be leaving tomorrow if I stayed with plan one, plan A. You know, I've got, maybe I need to go back and do more dermatology work if they didn't get it all off. Maybe I need to wait, you know, for a time to see about my blood work. Well, that's no big deal. And because you can't change that. You know, I was thinking about what Fred was saying is, you know, with the RV, it's going to be a much longer trip. I wouldn't go out there and turn around, come right back. I'd be gone a month and a half. Well, that's putting me into, you know, after November and December and, you know, maybe some winter weather. I don't want to be dealing with any of that on I-40 at some of these high altitude places. Maybe it's too soon for that. And it wouldn't be any snow or ice. I don't know. I'm not used to any of that cold stuff, being down here in Florida. So, it may be I'm just confused. It may be I just want to sit in my chair now and drink Geritol, and all the traveling and cruising and all these things are behind me now, and I want to do something different. Maybe I want to go somewhere closer. I'm not even really interested in going up to Georgia for the Apple thing. You know, it was like, been there, done that. I wouldn't mind going down to the Keys. Of course, you can't go right now. Every weekend is Fantasy Fest. It's the second largest, well, it's one of the largest spectacles on the planet of every weekend for the entire month of October. It started out just the weekend of Halloween, prior to Halloween, or if it fell on a weekend, and then that was years ago. And it was a huge spectacle, and it grew through word of mouth. So now it's every weekend, all of October. Plus you got Oktoberfest and all these things going on. So it wouldn't be until November of next month that you'd even think about going down there after that's all over with. And that could be something to do, you know, a break in the heat, go down there, be on the water, you know, do that kind of thing. So we're going to figure out some ideas. I may just end up having to get my passport and flying to the Philippines or Thailand and checking it out for that same amount of money that I can take a cross-country trip, because it's an expensive airline ticket, and go over there. I know a lot about it from watching YouTube videos. I'd study it even more. And not to live, but to see if I wanted to live, or to go for a few months every year, or back and forth all year. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Now, guys much older than me that are ready to sit in their chair and drink Geritol are over there. That doesn't, you know, they're much older than me. So that could be something that I could do. Not, but, you know, everything's on the table. Everything's on the table. Thailand, Philippines, travel trailer trips, car trips, sell everything. Oh boy. Well, comment, vote, give it a thumbs up. Hey, the subscribers went up 1 or 2. I saw that. They were dropping like a lead balloon, and then I think I got one. I got a new subscriber, and then I lost one. I don't know. I think I'm up 1 or 2. consider subscribing to the channel, folks, to stay tuned to this saga that we don't know how it's going to end. All right, folks, have a great night. Crush it.